All right, have and have not fans, it's finally time for me to post my episode review of The Heart of a Man. And honestly, this episode, I really did wish I could have watched it during the premiere. But again, I was those oral surgery. I was on 4 different kinds of medication because I had worked on both sides of my mouth. I had to miss it. Twitter was blowing up asking where I was, and I was mad because I did not want to get spoiled, but everybody kept tweeting me. And when I saw the freaking picture of Veronica with that knife in her chest, I was so pissed off. Not blaming you all. It's my fault that I logged on to Twitter. But overall, I've watched, since Tuesday, I've watched the episode, since Wednesday. When I first watched it, I've watched it at least 8 times. It was a great episode. Okay, so Angela Robinson, love or hate Veronica. Put it this way. I hate Veronica, but I love the way you portray her. You own that role. I'm telling you, it was the fact that, I mean, she deserved to get stabbed. Even worse this episode. But is it just me, or did the scene where Veronica, was drinking and talking down to Jeffrey on the couch before they went over to the Crier house, didn't that remind you of the episode where Veronica burnt the house down? And remember, it was the episode before that, that's when she had a fit of rage and tore up the bar in the Sarandon Hotel. Then the next episode, that's when she's sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette. She has her wig off, you see the cornrows and whatnot, and then she's pretty much telling off Jeffrey and David. That's who that Veronica in the last episode reminded me of, drinking, sitting on the couch, just talking smack. And that's when Jeffrey told her off, and now he freaking stabbed her in the heart. And wow, there's so much to say about this episode. So again, Angela Harrington. No. Angela Robinson, you own this episode. You own this episode. Funniest part to me, and honestly, I given the state that our country's in right now in terms of Black Lives Matter, cops and everything, I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I'm saying that in regards to the haves and the have-not universe or TV show, I thought the scene was funny where Warlock got arrested simply because we've seen the worst side of him this season. So to see somebody who was essentially in power over Candace and Benny's life, if you want to go that far, in a position where he was the victim, again, not trying to bring the whole Black Lives Matter thing into play. I'm talking about the TV show here. I thought it was pretty interesting, the fact that Mitch's plan went off pretty well. But again, I did make that theory video. Did Mitch make things worse because Warlock would initially think that Candace was the one to set things up? Honestly, it doesn't look too good for her. Put it this way, 2 bags, and I'm assuming each bag held $1 million in cash. Not to mention she was late. Yes, she was late because of the 3 branches that had to put the money together and count it. But the fact that since the banks closed after 5 and she was late, it was 5:04 when he checked his cell phone. So I'm assuming he finally got that message from Candace to meet up with her about maybe 5:10. Again, I'm just assuming the time here. So maybe they met in person around 5:30. Again, I'm just, guesstimating the time, if you will. And so after 5 o'clock, she was late. Warlock probably put 2 and 2 together. That's probably why she was late, because she got the cops in on this. It was good to see that those 2 were on good terms, not to mention she was crying. But you know what? That scene with her crying in the car, watch out. I'm going to make a video about that. An idea just sparked in my head as I'm recording this video right now. So it's kind of good to see that she paid things off. But again, since she signed that contract and she didn't read it all the way through, if she doesn't have $2 million to give the bank back in about 15 days, she's going to lose both houses and tow company. But again, let me do a video on that in a little while. I think my favorite scene was probably the beginning, where Hannah and Jim were talking and Jim just broke down like a baby and pretty much begged. It's amazing how humble he got, from when he walked into the room with Hannah last week, going off, pretty much making an ass out of himself, then hearing about his son, and then begging Hannah to go see Jennifer for him. It was just wow. That just shows you, you got to be careful how you talk to people, because you just never know what they're coming to see you about. Because again, as I said before, I would think that Hannah, of all people, would be the only person that he might be happy to see, because I thought they were on relatively good terms. But I guess not, because he's still an ass. But in any case, I did like the scene between, where Warlock was trying to calm Benny down. And to make it less suspicious in terms of why he was being a peacemaker, he could have brought up something like, man, remember the last time you went off all hot-headed after I offered you help? Remember about Quincy? I offered to go with you at that strip club, but you said you would take care of it yourself. Then the next thing you know, you got in that car accident, beat him up, and then you ended up in jail. If he had pulled something like that in terms of, hey, here's why you should calm down, I think that would have played off a lot better. I did like that little bit of dialogue between him and Mitch in terms of, who you hear about me from? Oh, just folks saying stuff. Well, tell folks to keep my name out their mouths. Yeah, all right. I thought that was pretty hilarious. So, the fact that Mitch pulled it off in terms of putting that tire in, with the drugs in the back of his trunk, I did like that. That was pretty slick. But again, it's going to do a lot more harm than good, because as I predicted, I really think after being arrested, he's going to be taken to the same jail and placed in a cell either in or beside Jim. And those two are going to start talking. He's going to learn that it wasn't $4 million, but $7.4 million that she really got from Jim. So he's going to be pissed, thinking that, number one, she got him in jail on purpose. And number two, he found out that she lied to him for, well, third time if you want to put about the $500K. Then this $4 million, and then the $7.4 million. So she is screwed. I don't know how exactly Warlock will get out of jail, but I'm pretty sure him and Jim are going to come up with something wicked for her, because I'm pretty sure it will play out like this. Wait, hold on. Nope, I'm going to save it for another video. Keep your eyes open. But in any case, let's see. So we pretty much covered Warlock getting arrested, the beginning of the episode between Hannah and Jim, then Mitch, Benny, and Warlock. And then, of course, the highlight or the ongoing theme of the episode was Melissa and Jeffrey. And again, I thought it was pretty cool in the last episode, in the preview for this last episode, in terms of Melissa willing to help out Jeffrey as long as her parents get money. But I asked myself the question, if Melissa's dad knew what she was doing, would he approve? Would he rather die for, to save his daughter the essential horrors of, arranged marriage, pregnancy, and then getting married with a mother-in-law like Veronica? I don't know, but I will say this much. If Galvin, if you don't want to kiss Melissa, I sure as heck will do it. So, let me know. I'll come down to Georgia myself. Maybe that's the meds talking. Anyway, the end of the episode. Wow. The build, I want to end the video on this note. I'll admit that the preview for this previous episode, which was, Jeffrey's been abused, beaten, tortured, and whatnot, and then he kept saying how he wanted to hit her upside the head with a bottle, and then he got up super fast in the preview. I knew he wasn't going to do it because of the fact that Catherine bust Candace upside the head with the bottle. I don't think Tyler Perry is going to reuse that same, scenario, because it makes sense the relatively calm character is going to snap and then knock out the person that's been abusing them. Hence why Catherine did it to Candace, because Amanda died, and then Jeffrey would snap because Wyatt died, and Veronica was pretty much torturing him over it. I knew the bottle wasn't going to happen. I just thought he would get up super fast and then just walk out the door. But the knife, Tyler Perry, I didn't see it coming. Yes, fans who've watched my videos, read my blog, for once, well, I wouldn't say for once, but in a rare occurrence since I've watched the series since episode 1, I was surprised. Literally did not see it coming. Tyler Perry threw a curveball. You still got it, Medea. You still got it. So the knife to the heart. And then the fact that the title of the episode, The Heart of a Man. Put it this way. Jeffrey was the Tin Woodsman of wisdom of the haves and the have-nots. But I tell you what, he found that heart and he stabbed Veronica in hers. But honestly, the Ice Queen, does she even have a heart? So I'm going to bring this episode review to a close. What did you think of the latest episode of the haves and the have-nots? What do you think is going to happen in the next episode? I'm probably going to watch the episode a couple times on Sunday just because I liked it so much. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep your eyes open. I am going to make an episode with my thoughts about Candace crying in the car, because I'm going to compare her encounter with Warlock to season 2 when she got abducted by the Malone. So keep your eyes peeled, people.